Hi everyone. Welcome to the 7th and 8th grade band, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade chorus, and 6th, 7th, and 8th grade jazz band concert. We've got a great selection of music to share with you all tonight. Thank you so much for sharing the evening with us, and we hope that you enjoy it. First up is Mr. Hassan with the jazz band.
Love it. You ready? 2 times through the melody. Zyla, you're gonna have to I'll point you when it's your Here we go. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Josh Hissong. I direct 5th and 6th grade band and am happy to be running the jazz band as well this year. That actually wasn't a joke. You can, if you could listen for the jokes and laugh after, that would be helpful. Okay. So we have a second selection. The first one was called Now's the Time, a classic tune by Charlie Parker, famous alto saxophonist. This next one is a fun little arrangement. It's called Escalator Blues. Our soloist from the past song that you heard, we had first was Zyla Kurz on the alto saxophone. We had Tabby Cook on trumpet. Followed by Elise White on the alto sax, and finishing up with Jackson Stanhope on the guitar. This next one is going to feature, has a few little solos in the middle there, the first of which by Zyla Kurz again. We're going to hear from Kiana Kinsey in the middle, and then Leah Glidden to wrap us up. One other thing about jazz band is, clearly, the last piece was really all about the solos and focusing on, trying to come up with your own personal, statement, right? Coming up with something that came from your own brain, in the moment, on the spot. Words are hard. And then this one, we really focused on articulation and trying to do the real jazz style of how would professional jazz musicians be making these notes short, making them long. So that was the big focus with this one. We hope you enjoy Escalator Blues.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miss Scarano. I teach the 7th and 8th grade band. I have a fan club. Thank you. So, this is the 7th grade band, and we have been pushing ourselves to the limit since Band Fest with these 3 tunes. The first one that we're going to play for you is the hardest piece that they have seen yet this year, and it's actually the same level that the 8th grade is playing. So, if you hear some mistakes, that's why. It's pretty difficult. They've been working very hard. These kids tell me that they've been practicing. If they're lying, please urge them to practice at home. I take them for their word, whether I should or not, I do. But I'm very excited to share with you the growth that they've made through this year. If you hear me counting out loud at any point or yelling rehearsal numbers at them to help them come back together, mind your business. They've worked very hard, and I'm very proud. They had a pretty good dress rehearsal today, so I'm hoping that they give you their best tonight. So thank you again. 7th grade band's going to play Bohemian Rhapsody for you first. So if you just heard some kids say, Charlie, when I opened up. So this baton, I don't remember if we told you about this baton last year, but Mrs. Ames and I split the cost of this baton because these things are not cheap. So we have joint custody of our baton, and when she retired, she gifted it to me. And so this 7th grade class knows Charlie very well because Miss Ames used Charlie for their last concert when they were in 6th grade, and then it was gifted to me, and it's like a whole thing. So this is Charlie. Charlie is beautiful. We love Charlie, and Charlie brings the magic. lot of pages. If you need to move anything, move it. If you feel like you're too far away, move forward. This next one is called Nebula, and I'm sure if you saw the program, Mandalorian is next. So we were like this close to having a space concert, but I feel like, Freddie Mercury, space. It's all space. So I kind of did a little bit of a theme here. Anyway, Nebula is another Reach piece. It's supposed to feel like going into space, and I think that this piece is difficult because there are a lot of independent parts, whereas Bohemian had a lot of unison rhythms, so they played different notes but the same rhythms at the same time, which helps them stay together. But in this piece, there's a lot of just the flutes playing here, just the trumpets playing here, just the clarinets, just the low brass. And that makes it difficult because they have to independently count and they have to know where they fit in with the rest of the ensemble. So Nebula was another bit of a challenge for them, but again, it was a good dress rehearsal today, so I'm hoping for the best. We ready, percussion? Ready? Hey, have fun. Do not go too fast. So the last one's from The Mandalorian. I think you will recognize it if you've seen the show. They obviously loved this one because they play it so stinking well. That's why we're closing with it. So we hope you enjoy. Thank you. All right, so this first one is a Heartland March. It's a pretty traditional march, but it's really fun. It's got like a little bit of a country feel, hence the Heartland name. And I played a recording of this for the kids probably back in December, and they really liked it. So the beginning for the tempo, the composer wrote in all the parts and on the score that the tempo is rarin' to go. So we're raring to get going here. This is the 8th grade band. Well, percussion sets up. I heard this piece looking for something lyrical to do in between our two faster pieces, and I couldn't not get it because I have an exceptional flute player this year and two exceptional alto sax players, and you will hear the beginning of this song. I'm not going to say their name right now because I know it will make them nervous. I will recognize them after the concert, but you're going to hear a beautiful flute solo at the beginning and then two altos joining. They will sound like one alto sax because they are that good. And this is a really gorgeous piece. The ranges are difficult, so that's what makes this piece really hard for them. Trombones especially, like, they have been complaining about this piece for weeks because it's so high for them and it makes their faces really tired. But they're doing such a great job, and I'm really proud of them for rising to the occasion. This is Remember. It's an original composition by Melanie Donahue. make sure that mic is next to the line door. Okay, this next one is, yeah, this one's tough to put together, very tough. I have done this piece 4 or 5 times in my career, and it's been with high schools and honor bands. So to have the 8th grade group play it is a really big deal because this piece may not be difficult individually by part necessarily, but putting the thing together as a whole is very difficult. There are a lot of transitions, there are a lot of independent parts, again, just like Nebula with 7th grade. And this one, The Cave You Fear, is written by Michael Markowski, who went to school for film composition. So you will hear a movie element to this piece. It's supposed to make you be a little bit afraid. It's supposed to give you that feeling of anxiousness and anticipation that you would feel in a scary movie. So we have worked really hard on this one, and it's going to be great. If you hear some really funky noises coming from the percussion section, they are supposed to be there. Can you guys hold up the rubber ball mallets? So we have to use rubber ball mallets to get very weird sounds out of the tam-tam back there and out of the timpani. And I kid you not, the kids donated the bouncy balls, and then I used leftover chopsticks from home. And Sarah Nason, she's got a whole tool situation in her STEM classroom, and she drilled holes, and I used a hot glue gun for the first time in my life. Can you believe it? It was scary. So I put hot glue in the hole and then shoved the chopstick in there, and luckily they haven't broken yet. If they break tonight, well, no, they can't break tonight because we need it for Funtown, so please don't break them. Anyway, this has been real fun to put together. We've got what we call a lion's roar in the back. That was also a pain to build. I took an old bass drum, I stabbed a hole in it, a very small one, because I had to put a string through it, and I tell you what, I think I spent 30 minutes and had 15 6th graders, because I was subbing for a 6th grade teacher that day trying to get some work done, and they all were trying to help me pull the string through this tiny little hole. We finally got it, but then guess what? It came out. So we've got more tape than I can even explain, holding the string in the drum head, and then it's covered in resin, whatever they use for a violin bow. I should know that, but I don't remember. All over the string to create a type of friction. Can you make that sound? Can you do it to show them what it sounds like, the lion's roar? It's coming. We're getting there, yeah. The kids would also like me to tell you that we have had less time than usual to prepare for this concert because MBDA Festival is at the end of March, and I don't like to give them new music while we're still trying to prepare music for another concert. So end of March, then spring break. Also, we had kids being pulled out for meetings, we had field trips, we've had so many things going on that have pulled kids from class, and we only get band twice a week for full band rehearsals, which makes it really difficult if they miss one. That's literally 50% of their rehearsal for the week. So they have worked very hard to prepare this in a very short amount of time. But don't worry, if we mess it up real bad, we get another chance at Funtown. So it'll be great. Anyway, we hope you enjoy The Cave You Fear, and we hope that it scares you out of your seats. All right, y'all. You ready? We have to make sure we're watching. Okay? Yes. We're not watching super great right now, so make sure we do for this one, because we got a lot of things we need to watch. Ready? That's it. Okay?
Good evening, folks. Welcome back from our intermission. Thank you for letting us change things over. My name is Mr. Hayes. I work with our 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade choruses. Today you're going to hear the latter half of our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade choruses here before you today. Today we've got 2 selections, something old, something newer, as is some good diversity. We're going to start with Dona Nobis Pacem. Latin has a great tradition in chorus. Latin has very pure vowels. In fact, only 5. It's just a, e, o, u. Very nice, very round, very easy to remember, especially if you're in middle school. We're going to serenade you with a little bit of Dona Nobis first, and following that, I'll come right back to tell you all about our second piece and its origins. So, without too much further ado, let's have some Dona Nobis Pacem. My favorite question to ask the choristers is, what language do you think this is in? Because then you start getting all sorts of answers. Portuguese, Japanese, Australian, not a language. Latin has wonderful usage in our choral world, but we also remind them that there are 3 places where you hear Latin, and that is going to be in the chorus classroom, in the church, and then, well, in the good old court of law. So, hopefully to some of our, I don't know, future lawyers or future parishioners, maybe they'll be well prepared with this text. We're going to move to Bim Bom as our last piece for the night, but before we close out, we do want to say some thank yous for the evening. So, to go through them all, we'd like to just say thank you to our SPAC staff and crew who help us with the wonderful lighting that you've been seeing, the audio that you have also heard. Brett Williams and your crew, thank you so much for having us here and lending this beautiful space for us. Thank you to our administrative teams, Michael Bailey, Joe Mastracchio, Pam Crosby as well, and I do believe our Superintendent Nelson is here as well. Thank you to our administrative team, and a thank you to Mr. Hisong and Ms. Scarano for all the wonderful amount of work that they have done in prepping our students tonight. And we should also say thank you to each and every one of you that are present here tonight. Thank you for supporting our music students, for encouraging them to practice, for being here and supporting them in person, in the flesh, as they deserve. And please, I would also say that as for the logistics side of things, please remember, we're all here for the same reason. We're all here to celebrate music. At the end of the concert, if you are waiting for your precious cherub, please wait in here in the auditorium so we don't clog the hallway and the lobby space. And we're going to finish off tonight with a little bit of Bim Bom. From way down south in Brazil, this is written by a gentleman by the name of, and I'm going to get the pronunciation right, João Gilberto, who is basically the Portuguese Tom Petty. Really great at guitar, and this is an incredible jazz staple. So Mr. Song started the evening with a little bit of jazz. We're going to end with a little bit of salsa, samba, jazz as well. Without further ado, Bim Bom.
Da 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 da